Hello, everyone, and welcome to my lesson 4 book study. Today, I'm going to walk through four major leadership themes drawn from Daniel Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. These themes, like humanity, accountability, patience, and awareness of others, form the core of servant leadership. And I'll connect each theme to a specific Carnegie story. I'm going to apply it to a human aviation factor, and I'm going to actually highlight it with a biblical principle that's going to strengthen the ethical leadership in aviation. And this is the agenda for the class today. We'll take a second to look at that and familiarize it. Alrighty. So a quick overview. Carnegie's book is one of the most influential leadership guides ever written. It focuses on shaping relationships, communicating effectively, and influencing others through integrity rather than authority. What makes this book powerful for aviation is how it directly supports human factors, safety culture, and decision making under pressure. The story Carnegie share align closely with attributes of servant leadership, and they translate seamlessly into the cockpit communication, flight instruction, and just team dynamics in general. But before we dive into the individual themes, it's important to recognize the umbrella concepts, which is servant leadership. Servant leadership places others' needs before their own and influences through service, humility, and compassion. This aligns with the example Christ set and matches modern aviation leadership principles like crew resource management or CRM and ethical decision making. With that put in mind, let's go ahead and take a look at the first theme. All right, humility is going to be our first theme here. And in the opening chapter, Daniel Carnegie tells a powerful story about John D. Rockefeller confronting an employee that made $1 million error. And instead of criticizing him, Rockefeller humbly shares mistakes he himself had made earlier in his career, and he actually preserved the man's dignity and strengthened their relationship. In aviation, humility is essential and it reduces hazardous attitudes such as invulnerability or machoism and encourages pilots to listen, collaborate, and acknowledge limitations. And Philippians chapter 2 reminds us to value others above ourselves, which is the heart of servant leadership. A humble leader builds trust, and trust is the foundation to safety. All right. And theme 2 will be accountability. In this specific theme, Carnegie shares a story about being stopped for speeding, and instead of arguing or deflecting the blame, he immediately admitted it was his fault, and the officer responded with unexpected grace, providing that honesty disarms conflict and builds respect. In aviation, accountability is essential for safety, whether it's a mistake in a flight planning or miscommunication or just poor decision making or admitting a fault early will actually protects training environments and strengthens crew resource management or CRM. And in Proverbs 10:9 teaches that whomever walks in integrity walks securely. Servant leadership demonstrates accountability because it understands that ethical leadership begins with taking responsibility. All right, moving on, we have patience. This is our third theme, and in this one, Daniel Carnegie tells a story of diffusing a tense situation by staying calm and listening quietly instead of reacting emotionally. He argues that the ability to manage your emotion is one of the greatest leadership strengths a person can have. And in aviation, patience is vital, whether you're an instructor working with a nervous student or a pilot managing tasks during high workload. Patience keeps communication clear and prevents escalation. And in Proverbs 16:32 teaches that patience is greater than strength. A servant leader remains steady under pressure, guiding others with calmness and clarity. And then our final theme here is awareness of others or empathy. Carnegie actually shares a story about helping a father repair his relationship with his son by teaching him to genuinely see the situation through his boy's eyes. And this principle, which understanding others' perspectives, transforms leadership. In aviation, empathy strengthens team communication, it reduces conflict, and improves both interpersonal and situational awareness. Ephesians 4:2 calls us to be humble, gentle, and patient, bearing with one another in love. And servant leadership prioritizes understanding others so they can lead with compassion. Okay? And bring it all together, we can blend humanity, accountability, and patience with the awareness of others. Uh, by blending those together, we actually create a complete model of servant leadership. These four pillars improve communication, reduce errors, and strengthen team relationships, and promote ethical decision making. This model mirrors how Christ led others with the same compassion and love in his teachings. And in conclusion, Carnegie's work provides a strong foundation for servant leaders, especially within aviation. These four themes, humility, accountability, patience, and awareness of others, strengthen safety, communication, and ethical judgment. As aviation leaders and instructors, we are called to lead through service, modeling the example of Christ. Okay? With that, that is the completion of this class. I just wanted to say thanks for everyone that decided to take part in it, and I look forward to seeing what everyone else has done.